Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about how to know when it's time to seek out couples therapy. Hi, I'm Emma Coble. I'm a licensed professional counselor in Colorado. And if you are needing couples therapy or are interested in it, feel free to get in touch. I'd love to chat with you about it. So relationships are just very hard. There are so many things that go into why relationships are hard, including trauma that we carry around from childhood, and our primary relationship with another person closely resembles our relationship with primary attachment figures, so our parents growing up. So in our modern society, there's also a lot of pressure we tend to put on relationships to fulfill a lot of our needs. So there's so many reasons our romantic relationships are oftentimes the most difficult relationships we have in our lives. So I want to first of all start out by saying that if you're struggling with any of the things that I'm mentioning today, you're not alone, and it makes sense that you would be struggling because many of us were not taught how to be in a romantic relationship, and they're just hard. Like, they are hard. And so we have to do the work of learning about ourselves and learning about our partner, and really becoming a couple where we're taking care of the relationship as if it's a separate thing. And so here are some of the ways you might know that it's time to seek out couples therapy if you're kind of on the fence. So maybe one of them is you're having the same arguments over and over and over again. So it might be that the argument is about something small, but it's about something bigger. So maybe your partner didn't greet you when you came in the door, and it felt really hurtful and really painful. And you try and bring it up, and you find that you both get triggered, and maybe your partner gets defensive, then you get defensive, and maybe this same thing comes up over and over again, but it's not about being greeted at the door. It becomes about something else where you don't feel important, or you don't feel seen, or you don't feel considered. So if this keeps happening, it's a good sign that maybe you are stuck and could use a little extra support in getting through that cycle. Another way you might know that it's time for couples therapy is if one or both of you is struggling with trust. And this is really common in all relationships. Sometimes it's when there's infidelity or when there's been betrayal that this can be a huge thing. But a lot of times there is a more anxious partner who might not 100% trust that their partner is going to follow through with what they say they're going to do, or they don't 100% trust that they're the priority in the relationship. So it could be that there's a lack of trust around, a third person or, whatever, but it could also be just a feeling of a lack of trust around, does this person have my back? Like, are they gonna take care of me? Can I trust that I'm safe and okay with them? And that is a great place to start couples therapy from. So one thing about this too, and I'm going to mention this in some other videos, is that it's really common to get into this anxious and avoidant dynamic sometimes, where one person is more anxious and less trusting potentially, and the other person tends to kind of pull away, and this just feeds a cycle that can be really painful for you both. The next one is you're feeling more like roommates than you are feeling like partners. So maybe you're feeling kind of taken for granted, or those things that your partner did in the beginning that made you feel special, made you feel loved. It doesn't feel like it's happening anymore. You don't feel seen. You don't feel appreciated for the work that you're putting in. And there can be a lot of reasons why this happens, and couples therapy can be a really good place to sort of explore why that is. Have there been external pressures on the relationship? Has there been resentment that's built up that's causing one person to pull away? These things are all things you can explore with a couples therapist. Another is like one of you is wanting more emotional or physical intimacy than the other, and it's causing a divide. I see this happen sometimes where one partner is wanting more of a sexual connection in the partnership, and the other one doesn't want that or is not able to for whatever reason, and this can cause a lot of pain and a lot of hurt. And so exploring with a therapist like the deeper needs for connection and intimacy and what's happening in that dynamic can be really amazing and healing for both parties. And then the next is struggling to communicate. Like you feel like it's very hard to communicate your needs, ask for what you need. And when you do, maybe you feel guilty, or it feels like the other person just gets defensive and it doesn't feel productive. It doesn't feel like you're actually getting anywhere or solving any like problems when you are communicating what you're needing and what you're feeling. And the next one is like you really love each other, but you just feel stuck and you just don't know how to get out of it. You've tried all kinds of angles to figure this out on your own. If that's you, couples therapy could be great for you. One last thing I'd like to mention is that oftentimes in this dynamic, one person is more ready for couples therapy and feels more ready to jump in than the other, and that's totally normal. And that's okay. So something you can do is if you are the one who feels ready, you can start therapy on your own, and maybe later your partner will join. Or like maybe if they're willing, they can give it a try, or they could pick the counselor or whatever. So if you are interested in couples therapy, if you live in Colorado, love to chat with you. And either way, couples therapy can be great, whether it is a preventative thing, but also if you're experiencing any of these things we've talked about today. Okay, thanks.